Hi everyone, my name is Vincent. Welcome to this new Substance Designer 5 tutorial. We are in the Terrain Maker series and this is the episode 5, so in case you didn't make the previous tutorials, I invite you to click on the link that should appear somewhere on the screen. If you already did them, you should be more or less at this stage, which means that we have a mountain painter and just by drawing on this SVG map like that, it should create mountain and texture them with snow. Today we are going to change a bit because we have made a lot of mountain related stuff. So right now we are going to do something different, which is something like that, like more islands and the sea which goes around, or more specifically, I'm going to set up a bit the material so we see better. Let's improve the glossiness, a bit of reflection, and the intensity is fine. So yes, something like that, like so, and a sea with the color which is changing depending of the depth of the sea. So let's do it. Let's start now. So starting from that, you know what? I'm going to delete that. Delete, because yesterday actually I recorded this tutorial, but after 25 minutes I noticed that my microphone wasn't activated, so I have to redo it today. So at least it will be more efficient today in theory. So first let's create a new graph that we will call Ocean Tutorial, for example. I'm going to put it in physically based, even if I will have to change a few stuff on it. And for the size, 124, I think. I'm going to start with 124 and maybe we'll have to resize it later. Okay, so let's go. So here is our new graph. So before, what you have to do, to see the height. I've been asked, by the way, how is it possible to see the height? I said it really fastly, really quickly in the first video, but basically you have to set your material to shader to tessellation, and you have to choose the plane high res, which is basically a plane with a lot of subdivision. So I don't even see. You see, it's really a lot of subdivision, so it can take in account the height information. I removed it, yes. And then after you can go in the material settings here and play with the scale to set the way you want. This is just a settings for Substance Designer. It won't affect the final result of your graph or your texture. I put it to 2 and it works well. So we have our ocean tutorial here, but first of all we need an 8 map. So what we're going to do is to reuse this graph, the mountain, and we're going to change it a bit. I already did it yesterday, so basically what I did is I removed the terrain, the ground that I used just for the purpose of the exercise, but so it's more beautiful, but I removed it because we don't need it here. And what we're going to do as well is to change and remove the SVG map and put an input the grayscale image input like that. And for the output we are going to keep the same, which is a diffuse color on the map and the normal map. So we save that and we go back here to the Ocean tutorial, and then we just have to drag and drop this like that, and now we can already plug the height map. Actually, I don't have height map there yet, so I will create it now. So you create a new output and you change and you hide the height map here, like that. Right now, you do your output here, and we don't see anything, but we're going to use this here. See something shader, and the normal map is here. For some reason we don't see any, it's because simply I didn't put any input here. So let's create an SVG map once again. Here, current title, plug it, and let's draw something. Okay, better. So you see our mountain is here. I'm just going to remove that to put this in grayscale. Okay, so here we have our terrain, which will become islands. I just remove a bit of snow like that. Okay, so let's say we are happy with that. We are directly going to put it here like that and create a frame to call it terrain mountain like this. Okay, so we have that. Now that we have that, we are going to make our first ocean up. So to create the water, as you see, as you have seen before here. Sorry if it's a bit noisy. I am at work, so during my pause, I do this during my pause. So here we want to create this color variation. So in order to do that, I'm going to go back here. We need first a gradient map here, gradient linear, like that. We are going to invert. So you can either use a level or use the invert grayscale node that you have here. And now what we need is a gradient map, the old school one, like that. And that's where you are going to define the color you want for your sea. So for the bright one, I want something like that. Could be cool. It's really up to you, and you can define them the way you want. And for the dark blue, I will choose a blue like that, maybe less saturation. Yeah. Something like that could be cool. Maybe I could add another one in the middle. That could be something a bit more bluish. Okay, so this really up to you. You can put it pink if you want a pink ocean. I don't know what you want, but that's something you can do. Then what you want to use next is the gradient dynamic node that you have here. And first you plug, and we're going to see it here. So basically what you will do here is in the grayscale input we are going to plug the height map, and here we're going to put our gradient. So the gradient is this one. We have to set it up to vertical because this is a vertical gradient. And here let's use the height map that we have here, and let's plug it here. So that's kind of work. I'm going to replace the mundane just to see. Wonderful. So it's really funny just to do like that, but of course that's not what we want, but it's just to show you what it does. So basically you have this color spread depending on this height map. Now that we have that, let's call it maybe watercolor. So I'm going to collapse that and that. and let's call it water. So spacebar, add frame, water, ocean. Okay, so we have our water here, we have our terrain here, and we want to blend them together, of course, because we don't want water everywhere. So to do that, we need a blend node, we need the diffuse, which is here. So at the top we put the mountain, and at the bottom we put the ocean, like that. And this is going to be our output. So right now mountain is back, and what we are going to do is to define the level of the sea depending a really cool node to be able to pick a level inside the height map is the histogram scan. So we are going to use it 2 times, I guess, here. So here it is. So here we use an histogram scan. So here, like that. Right. Oh, I take the range, sorry, the scan. I put it directly to 0.5, which is the default value. And we plug it here. So we start off seeing something interesting, but of course we need a bit more contrast. Even more. Let's put it to the maximum right now just to see the value. The cool thing right now is with this position, you see I can define the level of the sea. But we have a problem. First, it's too rough. You see, we see the pixels. Actually, I'm going to go in 2048, so it would be better, but still we see that. So sorry. In order to fix that, we are going to go back here and change the contrast to something like 0.95. So yeah, it's better for what we want to do. It's better. And second, something that bothers me a bit is you see that what I would like to do with this value is when it goes up, the water goes up, but you see it's the contrary. So what we're going to do is first we double click here, and we are going to create a new input parameter, which will be the water level, which is self-explanatory, I guess. So we have this value. I forgot E. Okay, so now that we have that, this is what is going to control for the user the level of the sea. So let's go back here to this histogram scan, and what we are going to do is we say we want to invert this value. So we are going. I could use the water level here when I click here to get this parameter controlled by a variable, but as I say, I want the contrary. I want the invert of the, not the invert, but then let's say the invert result. So I don't want directly this one, so I will create an empty function. I will go inside and I will just do a small subtraction. So I create a float with the value of 1, because most of the values inside Substance Designer, if not all, are comprised between 0 and 1. And I do 1 operator minus, and right now I will catch back my variable get float water level. So 1 minus water level. And for it to work, you have to click on the subtraction and set it as output node. And that's it. So right now, if we go back to here, I can control the level of the value, and it works in the proper way. Now we still have a second problem, is the level is working, but you see that the color sorry, the color is not adapting to the sea. Here, for example, at the top is bright blue, but what we would like is this bright blue to be always at the top of the water. So in order to do that, actually we are going to reuse an histogram scan and reuse this variable. We'll see how. So let's think about that. The color is here. So if I go back here, we say that actually this is this gradient which is controlling this, yeah, this gradient is controlling the color of the water. So if we want to affect where it is, we have to put an histogram scan here. So let's do it now. You will get it very fastly. So everything is black because it's not the full value. But let's put 0.5, and this will be really useful. You're going to see why. So first of all, I'm going to play a bit with the variable to see how to control that. So first I'm going to push the contrast a lot. Maybe not for this one, sorry. Later I will be used, but okay, let's start with the position. As we see, if we move the position, it changes where how the bright blue and dark blue are spreading, which is exactly what we want to control. And we want it to be controlled by the water level. So I create a new function. I go in, and first I get my variable water level. We could try directly this one to see if it could work, but you are going to see that it won't, because right now if I move that, you see that the level is like changing and bam, inverting. So that's not what that we want. It's the same problem. We have to invert the value. We cannot take the value directly, but we have to do 1 minus the value. So we'll go back here, and once again float, put the result to 1 minus subtraction the value. And don't forget, this is now what you want to output, so set as output none. Okay, so let's see that now. Right now, if we go here, nice music. It's a phone call somewhere else. So let's go back here, and if we move that, you see that the water, the level is moving at the same time, which is exactly what we want. It's not fully visible here because I'm going to change a bit the contrast. So when I move the contrast, let's see that, we see that we get it, but it's a bit maybe a bit too high. We don't see the blue at all, so we may have to put an offset at some point. Let's try that. So let's go back in the histogram scan. If I put like that, yeah, you see, we see it, but it's way too high. So what we could do is go here, and we're going to play a bit with the position. Maybe we'll add an offset. So let's control that. Operator, add, and let's try with the value just to see if we can fix this float. Oops, I have to put this as output because it's, oh, whoa. Okay, you see, that's exactly what we want to control. So here I will do like that. Actually, this is a value that I could think about of exposing. So you see it's too sharp, but we are going to fix that. It was just for testing. Let's go back here. Let's play a bit with that. Now the other way. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to play again with that and remove most of the contrast. I think it's not that bad. We could change it a bit. Again, I go back here. It's just tweaking right now with the value. So like that. And I think that's something that I may want to expose because actually this is quite cool. So you know what? As I want to expose it, what I will do, I'm going to go back here and I say I'm going to call it input water level light light ocean, which is actually going to control how the ocean is spreading. The light color is spreading through the depending on the relief, the inclination. Light ocean. Okay, like that. Go back here, and I replace this float by the variable. So get float like ocean. That. Here it's a bit too rough. I would have to cap this value definitely, but right now let's put it to this one. Yes, it's working. Okay, I really have to cap this to something really small. I think if I do that, yeah, from 0 to maybe maximum. You can try. I generally do it later, but okay. Another thing we want to expose right now is actually the contrast of the sea, because maybe we want. See, the more you put this, and the more it will actually make a dark ocean. Actually, our ocean is way too dark here. So once again, I go here, and I'm going to change it a bit because we don't want it like that. Maybe like that. After we can play a bit, but we don't want to something completely. Okay, so just to finish for today, what we're going to do is to expose this value. So basically, it will define how smooth is the transition between dark and light water. So let's create a last. Like light to dark, like that, and here. Dark and like this, and we go here. Once again, you know how to do that. This one I think we can take it directly. Let's see, if not we are going to revert it directly. So let's go here. Yeah, it works. I think we don't need to. I don't think I didn't stay. Maybe you can invert if you want, but it's really the way you want. So that's it for this first video. So basically what we have is a water that you can define, where you can define the height of the water like that. You can define how bright is your ocean, how the light, how the depth, see, and the not deep, I don't know how to say, is handled. You can put it even smaller, for example, if you want, and you can define how sharp is the transition between the two. So it gives you good control. You can change the color. And in the next video, what we're going to focus on is actually the. Let me check that. I'm going to put this is the specular and glossiness. I'm not in the proper mode, but whatever. If I put a uniform color to that to something white. Okay, too white. And glossiness actually if I do that. Okay. So here we see that the normal map for the sea is the one from the mountain. So that's what we're going to fix in the next one to give a cool effect. So I hope you like this video. If you like it, sorry, don't hesitate to reshare it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm always answering. And if you like that, just don't hesitate to spread the word. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.